The Miami Dolphins have gotten a little bit of relief, but let's not pretend like they're suddenly in a comfortable spot. Thanks to a small assist from the NFL, they're back under the salary cap, with just a few weeks to go before the new league year kicks in. But here's the reality. They're only $1.563 million under, according to overtcap.com. That's nothing in the grand scheme of things. That's barely enough to fill out the bottom of the roster, let alone bring in impact players. And now, here comes the hard part. The Dolphins still need to create space. They still need flexibility. Because if they want to compete at the highest level, they can't just sit back and watch the rest of the AFC load up. The Chiefs aren't slowing down. The Ravens are only getting stronger. The Bills, despite all their issues, are still in the mix. Miami can't afford to be a team that just makes do. They need to be aggressive. They need to make moves. So what's the next step? That's where restructures and releases come into play. Some of these moves will be painful. Some might even be controversial. But they're necessary. And one name in particular stands out when it comes to a potential restructure: Tua Tagovailoa. This is where things get really interesting. Tua's contract situation is one of the biggest talking points in Miami. Some fans love him. Some are still unsure if he's truly the long-term answer. But one thing is undeniable. He's getting paid in 2025. His base salary alone is a whopping $25.046 million. That's a massive number to carry on the books, and it's a number that Miami can manipulate if they want to. So what happens if they restructure it? First, let's break down the mechanics of it all. The league minimum salary for a player with 5 years of service is $1.17 million. If Miami lowers his base to that number and converts the rest into a signing bonus, they would be shifting $23.876 million into bonus money. The key part here is that this bonus money doesn't hit the cap all at once. It gets spread out over multiple years. How does that work? The NFL allows teams to prorate a signing bonus over 5 years. That means instead of counting all $23.876 million against the cap in 2025, Miami would only have to count $4.775 million per year over 5 seasons. So let's do the math. Tua's new cap number for 2025 would be his $1.17 million base salary plus $4.775 million from the signing bonus. That brings his total cap hit to $5.945 million. Compare that to the original number of $25.046 million, and you see the impact immediately. Miami would free up $19.1 million. That's a game changer. That's the kind of flexibility that allows them to be real players in free agency. But, of course, there's always a catch. Restructuring a contract like this isn't just a magic trick where the money disappears. It just delays the hit. The Dolphins are kicking the financial burden further down the road, adding more money to future cap years. And here's the thing. Miami already added void years into 2029 and 2030 as part of Tua's contract structure. That means they're already using this approach to spread out his option bonus. If they go through with this restructure, they'll be adding even more money into those years. At some point, the bill will come due. This is where teams have to make tough choices. Do you push cap hits further into the future for the sake of competing right now? Or do you take the pain now to avoid bigger problems later? For Miami, it feels like the choice is obvious. This team is built to win now. Tyreek Hill isn't getting younger. Jalen Ramsey is on the back half of his career. Xavier Howard's future is uncertain. The Dolphins can't afford to waste time. If they believe Tua is the guy, and everything they've done suggests they do, then restructuring him makes perfect sense. It also reinforces their commitment to him. If they go down this road, it makes it even harder to move on from him in the near future. The dead cap hit in case of a release or trade would be significantly higher, meaning they're effectively locking themselves into him for the long run. And honestly, that's not a bad thing. For all the debate about Tua, he just had a season where he led the NFL in passing yards for most of the year and helped Miami to the playoffs in back-to-back seasons. He's got flaws. Every QB does. But he's also the best quarterback this franchise has had in 2 decades. If restructuring his deal helps Miami put a stronger roster around him, then it's not just a good move. It's a necessary one.